Hi. Softness is more important than integrity. As clickbait statements go, that's right up there. But if you stay with me for the next 3 or 4 minutes, I'd like to share some observations, some lived experience, some intuition, some insights around why softness is possibly the gold standard signal of healing, the gold standard telltale sign of growth, of progress, of inner work. So let's get started. First things first, you cannot embody softness as long as you are, in some version, in some sense, in some way, practicing spiritual bypassing. So the embodiment of softness is actually not possible. You can talk a lot about softness, but the reason softness is such an accurate biomarker of growth is because softness is nearly impossible to fake. And softness is something which comes to be, you can arrive at only when you've had your heart broken open like a walnut. And I'm laughing about it, or I'm smiling about it right now, but nothing about heartbreak uh, is, uh, um, is easy or facetious. And yet, um, when heartbreak or grief or sadness or any of the difficult emotions which have the power of closing our heart um, for 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 pretty much forever, um, the power that strong intense emotions of a certain cadence have over us, when you're able to arrive at softness, it necessarily means that you've been through the mountain of having felt a bunch of feelings without having overlearned the lesson on the one hand, or having gone into your head or on the other, right? And so softness is something that comes to be only when what needs to be felt has been felt without any identification with those feelings, right? So the story has been seen, the story has been recognized, the story um, has been lived, and now there has been this identification with the story, then which then makes softness possible. That's one. The second reason why softness is is where you want to be is because softness is an enabler of further capacity building. So, meaning to say, it creates the causes and the climate and the conditions for you to be able to continuously expand your heart in the light of things that happen around us, whether at a microcosmic level or at a macro level, in terms of politics, in terms of war, in terms of environment, in terms of everything that has the power to take us away uh, from keeping the main thing the main thing. It is the softness that keeps the structure of your heart, if not literally, maybe even literally, but metaphorically speaking, in a way where you're able to continuously engage with what is happening within and without either shutting down, without going into freeze, without going into fight, flight, fawn, facilitate, etc., etc. And the third thing is, the third invitation around softness is that, you know, it behooves us, if not on a moment to moment basis, but on pretty much a medium to long term basis, it behooves us to say what we want to say at any given point of time with the greatest amount of love that we can summon in that moment. And I say it behooves us, I use such strong language because our time here is limited. And to be soft is not to be codependent. Codependency is something that comes out of fear of a certain set of consequences. And and we kind of sometimes reverse engineer a certain state because we say, oh, I'm not codependent, and so therefore there's a little bit of either a tough love or a sense of self-preservation, or a bunch of things that we kind of start front loading, if not just our behavior, but how we show ourselves up in the world, how we show up in relationships, etc., etc. So to summarize, softness is uh, the most accurate biomarker of growth, inner work, healing, because it is not a place you can arrive at as long as there is some kind of spiritual bypassing happening. What is spiritual bypassing? Trying to not feel one's feelings, trying to be in the head about what is in front of you, sometimes grief, sometimes shame, etc., etc., etc. Second, softness enables further capacity building of all kinds. Your heart is open for complexity, your heart is open for love, your heart is open for nuance, etc., etc. The third is that for the limited time that we have on the planet, we have almost a moral responsibility to say what we want to say with the greatest amount of love. And that is only possible if we are embodied in softness. Okay? We're nearly 7 minutes instead of 4, but I hope you had fun for those of us who are still here, and I'll see you another time. Bye.